We're joined by former NBA champ Steven Jackson. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
After last night, what shot would you give the Cavs against the Warriors in the finals?
They have a chance because they have the best player in the world, LeBron James. But LeBron's been crying for help all this time. He didn't understand. He had one of the best players in the league right there on the side of him, in Kyrie. So they definitely have a chance, and it's going to be good to see.
When LeBron said they were top-heavy, he didn't lie. They scored 93. Kevin Love, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving scored 93 of their 112 points. Would you say that's top-heavy?
That's definitely top-heavy.
I said at the beginning of the season they were going to win the title. Now, it's going to be more difficult because what Golden State did is that they traded out Harrison Barnes, a guy that scored 12 to 14 points, and brought in Kevin Durant, a guy that can go get you 30 every night.
MVP.
In a 7-game series. He can get you 30 nights. He's been an MVP. He's a 4-time scoring champ. He's been an all-NBA player. So with that being said, all it's going to do, Skip, is make LeBron, because when he pulls this off, there'll be no more questions. He will be the greatest basketball player because he would have beat 4 all-NBA players, 4 all-stars on one team. It's difficult to...
So we're just going to sweep those 4 finals losses right under the carpet and go forward, right?
Just like we sweep them aside for Tom Brady that lost 2 in the Super Bowl. But let me finish this. Repeating isn't easy because think about this, Skip. The Spurs, and you know this better than I, they won 5 championships, but they never repeated. The Celtics' big 3, they say that was the greatest front court ever assembled. They never repeated. The Golden State Warriors won 140 games over a 2-year span. They didn't repeat. It's not easy.
Wait, did Jordan repeat?
Yeah.
He
Skip.
He three-peated.
Twice.
Twice.
Yes, he repeated.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe three-peated. LeBron James repeated. In Houston, in Miami, when he took down KD, 3 all Hall of Famers in waiting, and he took down another 4 the following year in San Antonio. Now, you take
Thanks
it from here.
to Ray Allen.
It doesn't matter who is thanks to. See what he did?
It was really because Pop cut me. I would have got that rebound.
You would have got
You know
that?
what?
I would've got that
That
rebound.
is the God's
Well, I'm glad
truth.
you told
I
Pop
buy
you couldn't
that.
come off the bench.
I am with you. Thank you for saying that. That was that year.
That was that year.
Yeah, that man should have been
By the
coming
way-
off the bench anyway.
Tim Duncan was on the bench for that last year.
He was.
Okay, just for the record. Now back to the real question at hand. I do give Cleveland a great shot against Golden State because Kyrie Irving proved last night once again, he's a bad man.
Oh, he's special.
He is a bad man. And I'm going to say it again. I said it earlier in the show. Just on handle and finishing ability, I think he's even better than Steph Curry. And those two things, handle, finishing.
Oh, yeah.
Not a better shooter because he's obviously not a better shooter than Steph or Clay. But when Kyrie wants to play defense, as he did last night, he got fired up on the other end of the floor too. He can lock people down. And he caused Steph some problems in the 7 games last year when he decided to play defense. And I'm going to throw one other top heavy on there. Tristan Thompson's a bad man. I'd want him on my team.
Oh, yeah.
And
He
by
gets
the way,
forward.
just for what it's worth, last night on plus minus, you said I'd make too much of it or not enough of it or whatever, but best plus minus on the Cavs last night happened to be Tristan Thompson's. He didn't have big numbers, but he did a lot of big little things. Because does anybody play any harder and crash the boards any harder than that man
He's
does?
a star in his role.
Yeah. And Kevin Love. I've never been a big Kevin Love fan, but he is showing up in these playoffs the way I've never seen him show up in playoffs before.
No, this is the best.
Hey, 17 and 17 last night. And he's shooting the ball with confidence I haven't seen from him before. Well, it's another weapon. And the secret weapon on the Cavaliers is a guy who hadn't contributed much at all, and that's Kyle Korver. And again, he played.
He had a plus 12, Skip, and had 0
Played
points.
20 minutes last night. He didn't even take a shot.
Nope.
Hey, when he gets cooking, he can be like Steph. You know, when he gets going, when he starts making threes, he can make them the way Steph and Clay make threes.
Correct.
So my point is that there's a mentality on the Cavaliers. For whatever reason, they're a tough matchup for Golden State because, A, they're not afraid of Golden State, and B, LeBron, Kyrie, they can go with Shumpert, JR. They can really make it hard on Golden State's guards on the perimeter because they bust them up, man.
Yeah.
They get physical with them. They get in their jocks. They push them outside of where they want to start initiating the offense. And I'm impressed with how physically they play Golden State, because San Antonio can't play Golden State that way. They just have to out-finesse, out-shoot them, out-basketball them.
Right.
But this can be a little football, basketball, and LeBron obviously is as physical a player as there is in the league when he decides to be, and it's just a lot of firepower that can negate the talent advantage that Golden State has just in pure basketball talent once you've added Kevin Durant.
If Golden State can keep it, if they meet with Cleveland, which we all know they will, if they can make it a team game, they'll win. If Cleveland make it a one-on-one game, they'll win. Just like last year, you see Kyrie make that big shot at the end of the game.
Big shot.
They got the best one-on-one players. Golden State has the best team, so we'll see who can implement their own style.
And I'm not
game.
discounting what Steph can do one-on-one. When
Yeah.
he decides,
No
when he gets
question.
going.
He's found his stroke.
He's
has
been leading now, too.
Yes, yes. But Skip, the thing that gave them problem last year is that when they put Steph Curry in the pick and roll with LeBron,
Trouble.
now you got KD and Klay Thompson probably will start on Kyrie. So now it's not a decided that big of a disadvantage for the Warriors because Klay has some size, but when they were switching the pick and roll and Steph was trying to hold LeBron, LeBron was just backing him down, shooting over the top of him. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up. JR could be big because they might end up putting Steph on JR, and JR might have to post him up instead of worry about raining down all those threes. But JR hadn't really played that well this postseason.
He hasn't.
He has a lot on his mind. I think his baby girl came home yesterday, so I'm sure that's a big relief. Looks like everything's going to be okay. But the next round, I'm expecting JR.
I know, but JR, at least once a game, he makes some big shot.
Oh, yeah,
you want to talk about guts?
And
Like
he'll make one big shot and one bonehead play.
Yeah,
So-
he not scared to take that shot. And to his credit, we have a group chat. He sent us a picture. His daughter doing a lot better. She's doing
Really?
fine. So
Yeah.
much love to him and his family.
Okay, so on Steph's, to his credit, I think Steph Curry, to my eyes, has played the best stretch of basketball over the last month I've ever seen him play, including his 2 MVP years. So I'm going to give him that. And what Kevin Durant did, especially after Kawhi went down in the Spurs series, he was just like silly good. Like he's 7 feet tall and he just
shoot over
he just
everybody.
rises up and it's just like shooting free throws from wherever he shoots it. So obviously their firepower to me is beyond Cleveland's firepower.
Yes,
but I'm going to
absolutely.
say this again. The other reason I give Cleveland a shot, I still to this day don't think Golden State has been tested because they just skated through the playoffs in part because Nurkic was gone in Portland, George Hill
Yeah.
gone for Utah, and then obviously the Kawhi injury.
You need a little luck in the playoffs. When we
you-
won in 03, Dirk was out. So sometimes you can't really
No, that's true.
weigh that, you know.
Okay, but your 03 team got tested sometimes where once you got to the big picture, when
we were ready.
You were ready for it. I'm not sure they've yet figured out who is the closer for this team. We saw them get tested on Christmas Day. That's the last time where I said, wow, look at this. They're up 14, and all of a sudden it gets real tight, and then KD, you gonna do Steph, you gonna do it?
Right.
No, Kyrie's gonna do
Well,
it.
the thing that LeBron does to KD, he makes him work. See, once Kawhi went out, no one can make KD work on the defensive end. LeBron can back him down and wear on that thin frame of his.
Right.
Because the guys like KD and Steph, if you just let them play offense, they're going to hit you up for 30, 35.
Exactly.
You got to make them work. And that's why Kyrie normally has a better game than Steph, because he makes him work. You got to try to stay, because, Kyrie got handles. I mean, I thought Isaiah had handles, but Kyrie Irving and the way he can kiss the ball off the glass with either hand, I don't know if anybody
Trick
can have.
shots.
George Gervin at the point guard. He finishes like George Gervin.